Hello, so we're here with Mr. Steve Endacotte, non-executive chairman of Neural River and Neural River Voice AI. Hello.
Hello.
Thank you for taking the time and being here today. So you're basically an entrepreneur, right? With an interest in politics, in democracy, in reforms, in quality of life.
That's good summary.
Yeah, well, nothing unusual about that so far. There are many entrepreneurs who have this interest. But you created AI Steve. How did this happen?
It was an idea in the pub. So basically, I'm an investor. Neural River is an incubator, and we take young people out of university with AI degrees and masters. We give them a job, pay them £30,000, and one day a week they can work on their own idea. If it gets approved, half the time, and then we try to spin it out as a separate business. So Neural Voice was the first of those spin-outs. So I'm in the pub with the guys, and they've built a voice overlay to large language models. So basically, you can talk to a large language model, you can talk to the knowledge of the internet. I went, that's great, but I want people to talk to my policies. So I said, no problem, we'll create a database in front. So what we wanted to do, and what we did do, is create an AI MP that's available 365 years a day, a days a year, 24/7, from the comfort of your home. You can talk to him on a phone, you can talk to him on a laptop, you can talk to him on an iPad, and it's one click. So you don't have to know anything about AI to talk to it. And that allows people to talk to me about my policies, but more importantly, tell me where I haven't got policies or what they want done. That's database analysed every night, crumbs up a list of things for me to do, and I get a list of policies to create. When I go to Parliament, that same group tell me what to vote. So really, policies for the people, by the people. I'll say that again, policies for the people, by the people, and a politician that does what it's told. Have you got any of those?
I don't think so.
No,
Do you? And
yeah. Because if our party, you have to do what you're told. If you don't follow the guides of your voters, you have to stand down. There's no ifs, no buts. You vote the way the voters want you to vote.
Okay, so you ran for a seat in Brighton Pavilion constituency, right?
Yeah.
But you were not elected, after all. Why did that happen? Was it AI Steve? Was it you? Was there somebody to blame?
Yeah, there's lots of people to blame. Mainly the previous government that only gave us a snap election for 6 weeks to actually campaign. That's impossible. And also our voting system has what they call first past the post. So, for example, on a national and international basis, we got enormous coverage, 110 million TV views. So we knocked it out the park. But on a local level, we got hardly any coverage because the local press decided to be biased if they promoted an independent over the big parties, which is ridiculous. So we did a survey on the Monday before the election on the Thursday, did 1,000 people, and we only had 8% awareness. So if you do the maths, 76,000 people can vote, only 6% do, so that's 50,000. If you only got 8%, you're only going to get a maximum of 3,000 or 4,000, you ain't going to win. But that 3,000 or 4,000 we felt could be pivotal in who did win the election, because it's a very close thing between Labour and Green. So we decided to pull out and tell all our voters to vote for the Green Party, who got elected with 28,000 votes compared with Labour's 14. So how many of those would have been ours? We don't know. But we wanted to do the right thing when we found out we couldn't be elected because of lack of awareness, and that was to make sure that the right party did get elected. Okay. So we don't know the answer.
How is it going to, are you going to continue developing AI Steve and continue in politics?
As a platform, we'd definitely continue with AI Steve. What we're not sure about is what the next step is. So, for example, we've registered a party called Smarter UK, and we would have to go national and get lots of MPs to stand. Or we may give the technology to the other parties, because it is about democracy we care about, not actually about being elected. We just think that we've got good ideas on democracy, how to use AI, and AI is going to reshape our future, and we think people should be in power who understand the threat of AI and the opportunity AI gives. For example, millions of jobs will be lost. Let's not beat about the bush. I've just told you about customer services, huge number of jobs can be lost in that sector. So what are we going to do about it? There's not going to be other jobs. So therefore, one of our policies is only work 4-day weeks, but for the same salary. So that basically you get more leisure time as a human being and less work, but we've got to share those jobs around, because otherwise the rich will get richer, the poor will get poorer, and we'll have a really uneven society. So there's a lot of implications coming from AI, and we need politicians to understand it and get involved and set guide rails now. I'll give you one other example. Nuclear weapons. Russia and America, date on. Amazon, Google, Microsoft sitting around the room to decide how to make less money? Not going to happen. So who imposes the guidelines, the rules and the ethics on AI? We've got to do it politically, and we've got to get business people who understand it involved in the politics. And that's what we're trying to do. Make it easier for business people to stand as politicians, cut out the bullshit of knocking on doors, cut out the bullshit of handing out leaflets, and actually use AI as a communication tool. Two-way, so voters can also tell the politicians what they want.
Okay, so as a politician, and this is a personal opinion, you should offer representativeness, right? Yep. And maybe prosperity, because this is what people expect. Sometimes what people want will not bring them prosperity, will not even bring a positive outcome. It can happen.
Yep.
What would you do in those cases? You know, if your voters would...
Tough luck. Tough luck. Democracy says 51% of the vote decides what's happened. If you think the voters are wrong, you can persuade them, you can put your policies out, but if they vote and say, no, I don't like that policy, and we have these validators that say you have to get more than 50%, tough luck. That's democracy. Otherwise, you've got dictatorship where the politicians believe they know better than the people. In general, the people know best. On occasions, they may have the right idea. Brexit. I really think Brexit was a bad idea. But 54% of the UK population voted for it. I have to implement it. Tough luck.
True enough. Does AI Steve have any biases? Because this could be a problem, if especially if he suggests policies to you, right? And we've seen a lot of cases of models, LLMs, feeded with insufficient data, maybe not so good quality data, who provided, well, bad advice, after all.
So let me tell you how we deal with it. We have a human overlay. So basically, AI Steve, the policies are created by human beings, not AI. They're communicated to voters using AI. Voters vote on them and communicate back. But it's also why we have two different groups. We have creators, who are politically active, yeah, but they may be left-wing, they might be right-wing. We also have another group we call validators, who don't give a shit about politics. They're just commuters. But they've agreed every week to look at the policies, tick and say which ones they like, and give it a score from 1 to 10. So that's what we call the common man and the common lady test on top of our policies. So human beings are making the policies, and then we're validating them with other real human beings not interested in politics to say, what do they think about it? That combination should weed out any bad policies or any bad ideas. So the AI is not controlling the politics, the human beings are controlling the politics. The AI is a co-pilot to bring more humans into that process.